Since last devlog, I've added weapon pass, a new biome, new enemies, and a new wave system. So let's get right into all of that new stuff. Okay, let's start off with the first one, weapon pass. I said last devlog that I started working on this, and I finally have it in the game and working. I don't have it done for every weapon yet, but I can show you the two that I do have done. The first one is the amethyst staff. So during your run, you might be offered the option to upgrade your weapon. With this upgrade, you'll have the option of getting better stats or choosing a weapon pass. These two weapon paths will change how the weapon functions. For the amethyst staff, the first one turns it into a shotgun-like weapon, and the second one gives it two orbs that spiral around the main shot. Like I said, it'll change how the weapon actually functions. Another weapon that I've done it for is the toxic staff right here. Instead of it exploding into just one toxic pool, one path, it'll explode into many small toxic pools instead. And the other one, on impact, will shoot a toxic cone out instead. So instead of it making a toxic pool on the ground to apply poison over time, it'll instead have a toxic cone yelling poison in an area of effect. Along with this, at the beginning of a run, the weapons will have randomized stats. Right now, the stats are based off the rarity. So a rare weapon, on average, will have better stats than a common weapon of the same type. While the rarities matter a lot, two common weapons will also have different stats. Where one may have a slower fire rate but more damage, while the other has a faster fire rate with less damage. These randomized stats only go up and down a little bit, so you won't just be getting a completely overpowered weapon off the beginning. Now that I have some more options with the weapons, let's get into the new biome I added. This is the second biome, the ice biome. For this ice biome, it is overrun with machines. You can see this with all the different enemies. The enemies are all a different type of machine. We're gonna have different machines such as broken down satellites in the ground. This gives it an interesting theming right off the bat. Now you might be wondering, what do these new enemies do? I just wanted to get all of the enemies implemented, so right now the attacks are not finalized. They're just placeholders. For the first one, I have this UFO, which shoots a bunch of projectiles around it. Next up, I have this tank, which fires a bunch of projectiles directly at the player, almost like a sniper. Next, I have this mortar. I'm gonna have this mortar be a sort of artillery, where it'll shoot a bullet in the air and then artillery strike around the player. And the last one, I just have bullets fire off in random directions after a certain amount of time and on its death. Once again, all of these attacks are not final, so I already know I'm gonna go back and make way more interesting patterns for each enemy. Now let's get on to the new wave system. Hold on, you made it this far in the video, so you must be liking it at least a little bit. If you want to join my community and talk with me, join my Discord in the description below. I made this Discord with a friend of mine who's a streamer over on Twitch. We both like to hang out and just talk with people there. So once again, if you want to join this Discord, go to the link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. This new wave system you can see at the bottom right here. At the beginning of a wave, it'll have 3 different markers of how many enemies are going to spawn, and beside it, a timer. When this timer reaches 0, the amount of enemies in that circle are going to spawn, which you can see here. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, now that it's fixed, this more clearly shows the player exactly how many enemies are going to be showing up in each wave. And along with this, I can scale it with the difficulty and how far the player is into their run. For example, the first arena will have 2 enemies, and 1 enemy in the wave. But something like the last arena might spawn 4 in every single wave. This gives me a lot more control of how many enemies are going to spawn, as well as showing the player exactly how many enemies they're going to face. And overall, I just think this was a great change. Now last up, I just finalized the game loop. So I wanted to look at what an overall run is going to look like. Since I want the main combat to be focused around these weapon and ability combos, I'm going to start the player off with both a weapon and an ability. They'll get 3 different options for a weapon and 3 different options for an ability. So right off the bat, they have a lot of options. They're going to go through this first arena, and then the second arena will have a boss fight. After this boss fight, they're going to have the option of another ability. This will instantly give the player some more options and make sure that it feels like they're getting stronger over time. After they fight through the next biome, this is when they're given the option of upgrading their weapon. Like I said before, they can either upgrade the stats on the weapon or go down a weapon path. This will make sure the run gets more interesting over time, as you'll see their weapon change over time. Along with this, I'll also give them the option of a new weapon. This weapon may be a higher rarity, and it might fit with their abilities better. This will give an interesting choice for the player, where they have to choose whether to upgrade their weapon or to change their style entirely. For example, if they get an amethyst staff, but both of their abilities are earth type, and they're offered an earth weapon, it's going to be more beneficial to switch over to that, as their abilities are also going to get stronger. On top of all of this, after every single wave, they're going to be given a stat upgrade. This just ensures the player gets stronger over time, and they can see themselves getting stronger. Their cooldowns will get faster, their weapon's going to attack faster, they're going to deal more damage, do more knockback, and more. So for those of you who watched the last video, I wanted to update you about my game Gemstones. So now that Ludum is over, I can show you the ranking. Here's what I got. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this, because there was around 2,000 submissions from what I've seen. So all my ratings I'm pretty happy with. I submitted the game to Steam, and they're currently reviewing it. So when that goes live on Steam, I'll let you guys know on my Discord, so you can go wishlist it. Thank you to everyone who played the game, as well as rated it. And I hope I can just improve this game in the future to make sure everyone enjoys it. So with this game going up on Steam, I'll be able to put my entire focus back onto the wizard game. I want to flesh out all the weapon paths further, as well as all the enemies in the ice biome. I want to make sure the progress starts going faster, but this might be difficult as I still have school and work. With a bunch of holidays coming up, I might get some more time, so you might see some good progress in the future. And if you want to see this progress, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And if you like the video, hit that like button down below and comment if you have any suggestions for what I can add to the game. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.